Hello, fellow fishers, and happy Friday to you. Today I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to go to the James River. The James River is the largest river in Virginia, going all the way from the western part of the state in the mountains to the eastern part of the state, where it empties into the Chesapeake Bay and eventually into the Atlantic Ocean. There's your geography lesson and watershed lesson for the day. Anyways, why am I going to the James River? Well, first off, it is the first day that the sun has been out in probably all week at least. It's so strange to see the sun. I feel like I should call the local news and be like, there's a UFO in the sky. It's a round spherical object, because it has been raining so much over the past year. 2018 was the second rainiest year in recorded weather history in Virginia. I'm not just making this up, that it's been really rainy. I feel like we've switched places with Seattle. So first, I'm going for a chance to get outside. I'm going to a very popular local spot on the James River that I've recorded a lot of videos there actually, and a little bit of content there, including a year ago when I recorded a video when it was like 6 degrees outside and crazy windy, and I was all boned up. I had gloves on. I had a scarf. That was crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to that spot. So why am I going there? What am I going to do there? Well, other than getting some exercise and get outside and get some vitamin D, hopefully, on the little bit of skin that's exposed, face and hands, I'm going to go collect some wild driftwood. I'm going to go hunt for some wild driftwood. Why do I need to get that? Well, I have an increased number of fish tanks with plecos in them. Yes, I have the super red bristlenose plecos, which I've had those for a while, and I have enough driftwood for them. Then I got the albino bristlenose plecos, and then I kind of had to take some wood from the super reds. And then I got the longfin albino bristlenose plecos, and I had to kind of split the wood up some more from that point. Then I got the red lizard whiptail plecos, the L10As, and I realized, wait, I need some more driftwood, so I cut it down to 1 piece of driftwood per pleco tank. Then I got another type of pleco, which will be coming soon in a video near you on Mr. Science Geek, so be sure to stay tuned for that. So with all these increased species and increased tanks of plecos, and eventually they'll be breeding, I needed some more driftwood. So I decided to go out and find some locally and find some in the wild, with a few stipulations. I have bought driftwood in the past from a local fish store, but that just felt weird and really funny to me, because why should I pay that much for something that I can get locally in my own backyard sometimes for free? I mean, I've gotten driftwood from my own backyard, from my school grounds before in the woods near my school, and I've gotten it from a park, and I've gotten it from the James River before. Now my goal is to find some pieces that are pocket-sized pieces of driftwood that will fit in the pockets of the jacket that I'm wearing. Why pocket size? Well, first, because most of the tanks that my plecos are currently in, for the most part, are 10 gallons and some 20 gallon longs, etc. And the smaller pieces fit better in those. Also, the second reason is so that I don't get these strange looks from people, and I don't have to hear the jokes as I'm passing by, people saying, he's got wood. And third, because I feel somewhat guilty and a little bit hypocritical by taking from nature. I usually am a believer and practicer of is that a word? And practice take only memories and photographs and leave only footprints. But I figure it's pieces of dead trees that, if left there, would just be broken down and deteriorate and turn into soil and worm food, and would also add more sediment to the James River and the Chesapeake Bay. So it's not really, there's the nose scratch, it's not really a negative impact, but I do feel kind of strange about that. So my goal is to find something that's pocket sized so I can conceal it. I don't get these strange looks and people with immature jokes as they're walking by. So that's my goal. I will hopefully be able to get some video while I'm there of where I'm collecting from, and possibly even some video afterwards with my haul of wood, a whole lot of wood. Okay. So, anyways, stay tuned. I'll see you on the other side.
It's Mr. Science Geek. I hope my tanks don't leak. If it's information that you seek, be sure to tune in each week. And my videos take a peek. My singing and my jokes really read. So this local favorite spot to come to on the river is a city park uh, with great trails to walk on, mountain biking, place to walk your dog. It's a very popular spot in the Richmond area. Um, has a nice view of the Richmond skyline, but I like the more natural scenes. Anyways, even the wooded areas like this that are overgrown with invasive species, but they're currently working on trying to get rid of the invasive species. And here you see the very high James River. I mean, that's a lot of water. Usually those rocks are exposed and people are out there sunbathing on them in the summertime, and now you see a bunch of driftwood that's huge pieces. I don't have a tank anywhere close enough to having driftwood that big, but there's the Richmond skyline over off to the right. Across the river, there's Hollywood cemeteries where a lot of uh, famous Virginians are buried, like Stonewall Jackson, I think, is buried over there. But anyways, we're talking about driftwood. Look at this driftwood. It looks like a beaver's dam, but it's not. This was washed here by the river. Look at these tiny, scraggly pieces and wiry pieces, and huge. Look at that huge stump right there. I mean, just amazing. It's look at the. I mean, just I was in awe. It's like I could not believe how much there was. And I know some of it was useless and some of it was trash, but some of it was. If I can only imagine having tanks large enough to have some of these pieces. Um, my favorite spot was right here. This little mess of it looks like trash, but it was actually a treasure trove of tiny pieces. There's another view of the river. Look how fast it's going. And like I said, in the summertime, usually when the river is lower, people are out there. So here is my haul. I think that was just a piece of oak, possibly. I don't know. Uh, that has some cool coloring. It's starting to deteriorate now. I think it's going to be useless. This was a tiny pocket-sized piece. Nothing really exciting about that one. Um, This one was a lighter wood, very light in color and in weight. I think it was. I think it has some character to it. I'm putting them in this fish tank here. It is filling up with rainwater. I'm water testing it to test for leaks. I love the coloring on this one, especially at this end right here. Really cool coloring, possible tannins to be released. Kind of excited about putting that one in. I think that one should fit. Obviously, it'll fit in a 10-gallon tank. It's fitting in a 10-gallon tank right here. This one, I also like the coloration again. I think it'd be kind of neat to put up on its edge, just kind of like that, but obviously better. Excuse the paint gravel. That's what the previous owner had in it. Actually, previous owner had in it. It's a shop light I'll be using later on in a project. That one is I like how dense it is and scraggly, and the coloration it has in it. It's also very compact. It fit nicely in a 10-gallon, obviously. Um, this piece right here was huge. I actually broke off a large portion of it because I would have looked really strange carrying out that much of a piece of driftwood. It looks like a different piece, but I'm just trying to turn it so you can see different angles. Look at that side, looks nice. I like the other side of it too. It was kind of difficult to fit in, but I know if there's aren't any other pieces in there, that it'll be nice. I think this will be a nice piece for like a display tank possibly. or my version of a display tank, like a 29-gallon, possibly a 55-gallon later on. That should last me for a while for one tank. This is a little tiny piece, obviously pocket sized. Good for a little fry to be munching on. This one in as is starting to break down and deteriorate, so I'm not going to use that one. This one, look at those colors once again. I mean, just really cool colors. Possible 10-inch to be released. And I think this is finally the last piece, my favorite one. Oh, there's a. No, just kidding. That was a small, tiny one. That was nice pocket size one, which was my goal of finding. Nice shot of Mountain Dew there. This is my favorite piece. Look at that. You just look at it. Beautiful piece. Stay tuned and stay fishy, people. I'll show you how these go in my tanks. See ya.